Welcome to the inner arena. I'm Coach Mo, your swag coach. And around here, we don't sugarcoat burnout, doubt, or that punk ass inner critic who's trying to hold you back. This is where high achievers come to reset, rebuild, and reclaim their swag, self awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. So let's lace it up. It's time to train your leadership like it's game day, because it is.
Today, I'm going to give you one step on how to overcome burnout. So remember, you're a high achiever, you're a leader. You used to carrying everyone else's weight. You carry everyone's baggage, their burdens, because you're a high achiever. That's what you do. You show up to perform, and you perform at your highest level. And rightfully, you deserve that. You're the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And you're always going, 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 going. But here's the thing: burnout is starting to creep in, and it's cracking you on the inside because you're showing up for so many others, but you're not getting that in return for yourself. And over time, right, you start losing energy. Your energy is starting to leak, and burnout is creeping in. And so I got a tip for you. One step, one step to help you get your swag back. Remember, swag, self awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. So here's the step: gratitude. Yeah, sounds cliche, right? But it works. It works. But here's what we're going to do: we're going to manipulate the mindset to incorporate gratitude. So this isn't something that you necessarily got to stop being busy from. But what we're going to do is we're going to implement like gratitude thoughts. Gratitude thoughts is the thing that we're going to do here because you have a pattern. You have this pattern of being urgent, of being this high achiever, this high performer, and you're going, 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 right? And that punk ass inner critic is riding shotgun telling the burnout and your mindset that if you slow down, you're weak. If you slow down, they're going to catch up to you. If you slow down, you're going to lose your status, whatever that narrative is. But that's what the inner critic does. It tries to manipulate your mind to make you think that you got to keep going, you got to keep going, you got to work harder, you got to work faster, you got to carry this. If you don't do that, then they're going to think this, all judgment. But here's what I'm saying to do: when you incorporate a gratitude thought, it doesn't slow you down. It helps you pause. It helps you reset, like I talked about in the other video, how to reset and to overcome fear and things like that. But we're going to practice gratitude thought. And so here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. I'm not asking you to stop being a busy person. I'm not asking you to stop carrying other people's weight. All I'm trying to do is help you implement gratitude in your busyness of what you got going on. But here's the trick. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. If you go to, let's just say you go to the office. Let's say that. Let's start there. You go to the office every single day and you're driving to the office. Here's where I'm going to challenge you. Here's the challenge. Every time you come to a stop sign on your way to the office, you got to have a gratitude thought. A gratitude thought. Now think about it. How long does it take to have a gratitude thought? Probably less than a second. And a gratitude thought is what you make a gratitude thought to be. I love my wife. I'm appreciative of my health. I love my job. I'm happy for my health. I'm happy to be alive. Whatever. It can be anything. I'm grateful for the work that I do. I'm grateful for my kids. Anything. You decide. Whatever affirmations that you want to create, right? So this is how it looks. You're driving, right? You're listening to podcasts, news, music, whatever. It doesn't matter. But every time you come to a stop sign or stoplight, or if you're in traffic, every time you hit the stop and go in traffic, just have a gratitude thought, right? Have a gratitude thought. And guess what? Over time, you're creating a habit. You're creating a habit of implementing gratitude into your being, into your thought process. Because think about it, like honestly think about it. With your busyness and everything that you're doing right now, how often do you pause to have gratitude thoughts? You don't. Most of the time we don't. Yeah, I'm not saying you don't pray and do those things. You do that stuff probably when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed, when something bad happens, you praying that you want health and all of that good stuff. I'm not denying that. But in the mix of the busyness, of your high impactful day, of the going, how often do you remember to have a gratitude thought? Okay, all right. So think about it. You're going to work, wherever far distance that is, you're driving to the office. Think about how many times do you actually stop at a stop sign or in traffic or stoplight? I don't know, maybe 15, just depends on the distance of where you're going, but that's a possibility of implementing a gratitude thought. And then if you stop in 15 times and a gratitude thought is about 1 second, that's 15 different gratitude thoughts in a short period of time on your way to work. Then you multiply that by 5 or 3 or however many times you go to the work one way, man, that shit starts to add up. And then you do it on your way coming back home, right? So now, guess what starts to happen? You're like, you know what, Mo, that's a good idea. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try it for the next 3 days that I go to work. And you do it, and you start feeling better. You just naturally start feeling better. Not that you're not busy anymore. You're always going to be busy. You're always going to be carrying other people's burdens and weight because you're a high achiever. I'm not saying you're going to stop doing that. That's part of who you are. That's what got you to where you are. But what I'm saying, when you incorporate gratitude thoughts, that's actually helping you get your swag back. The self-awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. And so what happens is now it's a habit, right? You do it for, let's just say, a week. And during that week, you're like, wow, you know what? This gratitude thought thing actually helps, right? But now you're forgetting to do it. You forget to do it. And you go to work and you just got a lot on your mind. You're driving, but you forget to have a gratitude thought. But then you get into the office and you just remember, damn it, I forgot to do the exercise of gratitude thought. In that moment, when you remember that you forgot to have a gratitude thought, guess what we typically do? We try to make up for it and we have the thought in the office. That's the self awareness that I'm talking about. It doesn't matter that you forgot. What matters is that you had the self awareness to remember that you forgot. And then once you remembered you forgot, you had a gratitude thought. That's the power. That's what I'm talking about. And you consistently do that. Okay, let's say you don't go into the office. Let's say you work from home remotely. It works there too. Every time you go to the bathroom, you got to have a gratitude thought. How many times do we go to the bathroom a day? At least, at least 3, 4, 5 times a day. Every time you take a step into your bathroom, you got to have a gratitude thought. Every time you go into the kitchen, do it with the kitchen. If you love to eat and you always go into the kitchen to get something to eat, some water, wash your hands, whatever, gratitude thought. And here's the thing, you're doing that as frequently as you possibly can. And so the chaos is still around you, the busyness is still around you, but the gratitude thought makes you feel better. And it brings the burnout, overwhelming feeling down, and you're gaining your swag back. The self awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. And that's all. It is, man. And the gratitude thoughts create the awareness that you need so that you can continue to be that high achiever that you are. So, if one thing that you can take from this video is the power of getting your swag back and taking these little steps around gratitude to create a habit of consistency of incorporating it. And you do that, my friend, you have swag, self awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit.
You just got to rep in the inner arena. Don't let that stop here. Leaders build muscle with consistent reps. So hit the subscribe or drop a comment and share it with someone that's grinding but running on fumes. And if you're ready to go from survival mode to beast mode, grab my free swag cheat sheet. It's got you, and it's in the link below. Remember, the best way is to get out of your own way. See you in the next round.